Hi guys, Jenna-Belle Montana here, and in today's video we are going to make homemade egg rolls with a homemade dipping sauce. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up some red bell pepper and some onion. I'm going to use part of the red bell pepper and the onion to make the actual filling for the egg rolls, and then I'm going to use the other portion of the red bell pepper and the onions for the dipping sauce. So I'm dicing these up fairly small, and then I'm going to start with the dipping sauce. The dipping sauce, I'm going to saute up some of the red bell pepper and onion with some butter. Quite a good amount of butter because you do want that extra flavor and creaminess in this sauce. So right here you see I didn't use all of the red bell pepper and the onion. I just set it aside for later. You also see I added some more butter. I'm going to add some Kinders, garlic, pepper, and salt, and then I also added some red chili flakes. I let that get nice and soft, at least until the onions are translucent. I do like mine to get a little brown on the edges, and then we're going to go ahead and throw in a really good big scoop of garlic. I don't like to let my garlic saute for too long because it will turn bitter. And then you see I quickly added 1 can of pineapple juice. I just want that liquid so I can go ahead and put this in the food processor and blend it up so there's no large chunks. I went ahead and added a 2nd can of pineapple juice, and then you'll see I keep tasting it and adding soy sauce. This is like a tropical sweet and sour sauce that's just delicious, you guys. I highly recommend it. It's also great for stir fry. So now I'm just heating up some grapeseed oil and getting my chicken tenders seasoned up with that Kinder's The Blend. I don't wash my chicken, but I do trim any parts that don't look tasty, veins, red spots, bruising, stuff like that. I do trim it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and cook my chicken until it's completely done right here in this pan. Once my chicken's done, I'm going to take it off and just set it on a paper towel to drain some of the oil off of it. I don't wash my pan in between steps because those crispy bits left over from the chicken is full of great flavor, and it will help just really season up the vegetables. So while my chicken is cooking, you see off to the side, I have my KitchenAid with the food processor, food shredder attachment on it, and I'm shredding an entire head of cabbage, green cabbage. You can use a mixture of cabbages if you want it a little bit more colorful. This is just the kind that I like. So then you can see that onion and bell pepper that I had set aside earlier. I went ahead and I'm going to saute that up in that pan and then put it aside so I can get started on the shredded cabbage and shredded carrots. And then I go ahead and brown that up until it starts to reduce in size and get soft. I add my mixture of onions, red bell pepper, and garlic into this pan. I add a little bit of Kinder's into it. And then I also add a couple ladles of that sauce that we made. And then I just cook it until all of the vegetables, especially the carrots and cabbage, are nice and soft. Chop up my chicken, add that to it. Keep tasting it. You want it to be tasting good before you roll up these egg rolls. Right here I just have some egg roll wraps. It says plant-based. All egg roll wraps are pretty much plant-based. This just happened to be the only kind I could find at my grocery store. So then you see I have a little cup of water here to the side. That's what you're going to use to seal up the egg rolls. You don't want them too full because otherwise they'll burst open. So I'm going with like 2 large scoops, maybe a 3rd one if the scoops are fairly small. So right here I'm just finishing wrapping up the egg rolls. Once they're done, I'm going to pop them into the air fryer. I kept turning them once they were in the air fryer and checking on them. I like my egg rolls not just hot. I do like them fairly crispy. And so you'll see at the end my egg rolls are nice and brown on the edges. And then I just have to tell you guys, this dipping sauce, if you're not going to try anything else from this recipe, I highly recommend the dipping sauce. It's great just over chicken and rice, or like I said, in a stir fry. The egg rolls themselves are quite labor intensive. This is definitely not a quick and easy working mom weeknight meal. This is something that is time consuming, but definitely worth it. You could also try a variation of this where you just fry up the egg roll wrappers and then have like an egg roll bowl and scoop it up with those wrappers or crumble them on the top. But here's my egg roll recipe. You see I made this. My house was a disaster and I was cleaning while I was going, but thank you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.